Aloha all, Paper Mario Guy here, and welcome to episode 4 of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. In the last episode, we got introduced to drive-bys and other things, but we're going to start off this episode answering our phone.
Yeah.
Hey, CJ, it's Sweet.
Hey, what's up?
If you don't respect your body, ain't nobody gonna respect you. You're too skinny, CJ. You need to pack on some muscle.
If I wanted nagging, I'd buy a clockwork wife.
Just looking out for you, homie. It's all show and respect, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
There's a gym I go to a couple blocks out from the Grove. Go check it out and get yourself a gangster physique.
I'll scope it out. Later, man.
Alright, so now we're introduced to Jim, and, well, Jim, like it's a person, Jim's, and and we're going to be doing a couple of little side things in this episode, and it will be a good opportunity for me to explain some of the things going on in this game. So I'm going to bicycle over to the gym. The gym, just so I don't have to explain it when I get there, is basically a button mashing mini game, and as you do exercises, you gain both stamina and muscle while losing fat, and that will actually change CJ's in-game appearance. So he'll have like a nice ripped physique if you've been working out a lot. Whereas if you eat a lot of food and you never work out, you're going to have, a larger CJ. You're going to be kind of fat. So I think that's kind of cool. And just one of those subtle things, like I said, that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas does pretty well that I think, makes me feel like this was the GTA game that really... I mean, everybody knows that GTA 3 was the game that really launched GTA, but I feel like San Andreas was the one that perfected the formula and added all these little things that made it kind of stand out from the rest of the pack. I mean, Vice City was definitely really well received, there's no doubt about that, but I think San Andreas was on a whole different level. And considering there was only 2 years from the release of Vice City to San Andreas, I think it's, pretty impressive. But yeah, as you upgrade your body muscle, what you'll also be changing is your sex appeal stat, among other things. And in this game, you actually have the ability to date different people. A couple of girls will be storyline dates, but you can find people out in the world. I guess I could do a lot of 80 pounds. Oh, okay, I just got it. 41 reps of 80 pounds. It's a weird way to work out, but whatever. But yeah, there are different girlfriends that you can find in the game, and some of them, like I said, are storylines. Some of them you have to just search out in the world, I guess, the map yourself, and you, depending on what your body looks like, will actually affect whether or not they're interested in you, which I think is kind of cool, because that's just like how it would be in real life. Not much to say about the gym or that, but as time goes on, if you don't eat, right? So if you don't go to, the Well-Stacked Pizza Co. or Cluck and Bell or whatever, or like any of the stands that you'll find throughout the game, you'll start to actually lose energy and lose fat. And if you deplete all of your fat and you still don't eat, you'll actually start losing muscle too. So you got to kind of be regular about it, and little notifications will pop up to let you know that you're hungry. So it's a little bit more involved, in Grand Theft Auto Vice City and the previous Grand Theft Autos, you didn't have to really micromanage things like this, and you really don't. I mean, that's the nice thing about San Andreas, is none of the things that they introduce are overbearing. It's all optional. You can play through the game and you don't have to eat a single thing. You're not gonna lose health, so you won't die, but you'll just be really, really skinny. And there are moments during the game where you will need to have a certain physique, or you'll need to get a haircut or something like that. I'm getting a tattoo right now, just for the hell of it. But none of this stuff is necessary, and if you don't do it, it's fine. You could just play through the story, which I think is pretty cool. One of the other things that working out or getting tattoos in your clothes will affect is your respect. And you've been seeing us gain respect as we've finished the missions. And the thing about respect is it's actually not that important either, but there is a mechanic that we haven't been introduced yet, which is gangs. And the more respect you have, the more members of your gang you can have. And it's kind of cool if anybody's who's watched this played, let's say, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. In the same way that you kind of have this little posse of people following you around, helping you in fights, this game actually has the same kind of feature. And we'll see that probably in the next 5 to 10 episodes.
Give me 15, motherfucker. I'll write it down in a second. I ain't gonna pencil whip you, fat sucker. Let me play first.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
Who winning?
Who you think, huh? Me? That does it. That's game null and void, motherfuckers.
So, what kind of guns we working with now?
One time came through, raided the spot. We ain't got shit now.
Well, what you gonna do if the ballers roll through? Throw shoes at her? Say, what happened to Emmett?
Emmett? Shit, gangs these days got Macs, AKs, and all kind of stuff. Emmett, on the other hand, ain't got shit.
Well, until we get that plug, we gotta deal with a cat that always been there for us.
Emmett, Seville Boulevard families. We ain't too close these days, but nonetheless, I'll take you to see him. Get ourselves strapped up. Come on, man. Nigga, shake him up again.
Alright, so we're gonna get introduced to some gun mechanics.
What happened to
So
the fam?
there's not a whole lot that happens story-wise in this particular mission, but you do get to learn a little bit about the shift in, the families that made up Grove Street.
That's the way of the world, baby.
Guns in this game are really cool compared to the other Grand Theft Auto games up until this point, because it introduces a system where it's kind of like an RPG where you can actually level up your weapons based on how much you use them. And so each weapon that we'll find will have that have its own unique level that ranges from gangster to hitman.
Hey! Who shot at me? What you kids want?
Hey, Pops! Hey, what's happening?
Aren't you Beverly Johnson's boy?
That's right.
Right. Say, ain't you dead?
No, Emmett. The other one, Carl.
I'm sorry about Beverly. That's why we're here, sir. We want to get the people who did it. Well, you come to the right place. Try anything you like, boy. Man, look at this old shit. Die, little glass ball of fool!
Yeah, so this is just a complete, a pretty obvious tutorial about how to use guns. Right trigger is going to let you lock on to an object. You can also use the B button, which will automatically start shooting and locking on to the nearest target. You have increased accuracy if you decide to crouch, actually. So it makes it a little bit easier if you're facing, someone that's like a little further away, or if you're using a gun that doesn't have the best accuracy. And then using the right and left bumpers, you can actually switch between targets, which can be pretty convenient or pretty annoying, because sometimes the detection on what you lock onto is not that great. And so you could be in the middle of a firefight with like a bunch of police officers, and then a person just drives by with a car, and all of a sudden you're locked onto them, and now you're getting shot up by the SWAT, and you didn't ever want it to be targeted on anybody else. So it's weird. But you can also free aim too, although if there, like I said, if there is a person or an object that you can target, you will usually just lock on.
Real strength comes from within, my brother. Listen to the boy. Yeah, I guess.
But it's cool because Emmett's house is not too far from the Grove Street house, and this is an early place where you can reliably find a gun. But you don't really ever have to come to Emmett's house to find a gun, because there are plenty of guns just littered throughout the map. You just kind of have to know where they are, or or find them. But just at CJ's house alone, you can get in the back left corner of that cul-de-sac, you can get the pistol, and then there's a submachine gun on top of Sweet's house, and then there's also a submachine gun under the bridge right behind CJ's mom's house. So
What's going on, man?
Emmett's house is rarely ever needed to be visited, but it does have a gun marker on the map, so it's easy to find.
Choices all men face, brother.
But you can only get a pistol, and pistols are not that great in this game. Maybe the Deagle is, the Desert Eagle, but every other gun in this game I feel is pretty much better than the standard pistol. Even the silenced pistol is like not that much better, so
Later, Smoke.
use your own discretion, use the weapons that you want.
Speak.
I thought you was representing.
What?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you was rolling with Grove Street again.
Already told you I am.
Well, I ain't seen you in your colors yet. You gotta fly the flag, man. Ain't nobody gonna respect you if you ain't representing your hood.
Alright, man. My bad. I just ain't got around to it yet.
There's a Beagle around the corner from the gym in Gatton. Go get yourself some greens.
Alright, so now we're finally being introduced to the ability to kind of customize what you wear, which I think is, for me, a big part of any game that I play. Like, if I can customize my character and make him look exactly how I want, I am a lot more invested in that game. One of my favorite game series of all time is Mass Effect, and I think that was one of the best experiences about that game, is I made my Captain Shepard look ridiculous. His jawline jutted out about like 3 feet from his chest. It was ridiculous, and it was so funny to play through that game with him looking the way that he did. And I mean, this game is not as in-depth as that game was, but I do think it's cool that you can kind of go through and customize, you know, what shoes, what shirt, what pants, you know, chains and accessories and things like that. So I'm just gonna get a green hoodie, be generic at first, and later on I'll customize a little bit more, but you have to buy something in order to finish the mission.
Try on anything you want, sir.
And I want to move on. Keep this gravy train rolling. So
Always a pleasure, sir.
now we're all decked out in green, ready to represent Grove Street families to the best of our abilities. CJ is so passionate about cleaning up the hood. Anyway, now we have the big smoke line of missions to complete as well. I think I'm going to continue to go with Sweet's missions at first, but you will reach a point where you have to complete the other lines of missions before you can complete Sweet, or, you know, we'll see other examples. And so I'm going to try to go all the way to Sweet as much as I can, and then switch over to Big Smoke and so on and so forth. But, alright, well, I can save off screen. You guys don't need to watch me do this. So thank you guys for watching. Please consider giving me a subscribe and giving a like to this video, and I will see you guys in